Hello, weirdos and weirdettes. Happy Weird Wednesday to you. It's me, Haunted. Today we're going to be working on the old Damien Aspirant, the vanilla flavor. Damien, we have his title version painted, Unbound. Ooh, kind of needs some focus. Anyways, but we're going to be working on the other version, the vanilla version of him, as it were. So, because he's black, I thought I'd leave some of the pretty kind of colorful ones on the desk, so it wouldn't just be all poop black color. So let's get started. Probably going to do the same outfit, essentially, the red jacket, the white shirt, and the gray slacks, or the red cloak, whatever you want to call it. So let's start with that. Let's start on his flesh, I believe. What color do we want to do for that flesh? Is our base. Yo, looking at this crew. How are you doing, sliced bread? It's a solid crew. Some people might even say a little bit overpowered. I haven't had the chance to play it yet, or play against it, so I can't speak for that. But yeah, he seems pretty solid. I'll start with a little barbarian flesh on the hands. And I'll get it all over the cloak too, because it doesn't matter at this point, right? Started on the cloak. It's a cool looking crew too. I mean, I love the Soulstone Gammon. Bella Thorpe, or whatever her name is. Very cool looking model. In the interest of doing it quick, I did regular metallics on her, but I did do the little half sugar skull on her face, or candy skull, whatever they call that. I think it's sugar skull. But she's a neat looking model. And then Marco, I really enjoyed him with his little tentacles all over his suit. Reminded me of that guy from Hellboy. Cannot remember his name, but the one that was like gaseous form and had the suit to remain in one place, kind of thing. Very nice flavored crew. And the puzzle box, I just love the puzzle box. For such a simple model, it's very cool looking. Bedroom, Bonatti were the first ones I got because their aesthetics. Nice. Yeah, they're very cool. Ledger's one I need to paint. I have not finished him yet. Him and the Dabblers are the only part of the crew I've not painted yet, mainly because I was planning on playing Unbound, and so I basically painted the list I was planning on using with him, but I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet. So I have Title Damien, Lolith, the 3 Soulstone Gammon, Bella, Puzzle Box, and Marco. That was going to be my list. Johann Kraus, thank you. That was it. Yep, you got it. Now my brain is free to come up with other squirrel brain things to think about. Yeah, that was the one. Thank you. I hate when I think of something and it's just sits there and bothers me the whole stream. So it's nice when somebody can come in and set my brain free. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So Let's see here. This covered in here. Are your brain squirrels also made of ink tentacles? When I try and grab them, yes, they turn into something very vaporous because they disappear. I can't catch them. So yeah, whether it's ink or vapors or something is something I can't latch onto, something intangible. That's what it's like with an ADD brain. A million things going on in there, and you can't latch onto any of them. That's why the painting is one of those few things that just lets me, I can actually focus on it and stay in one place for a while. I mean, I'll still think about other things, but I can focus on this one. Starting to get into the hobby myself. Just recently finished a bunch of McMorney's crew debating on branching out into other factions. We're getting a few more Reserves Masters for versatility. If you plan on doing the competition scene, I would definitely recommend getting some more Reserve Masters because, I mean, even if you're just competing locally, right? If you're doing like friendly tournaments or whatever, because when you declare a faction, you have to stay within that faction for most tournament games. So having some other options is a good thing. If you don't plan on doing any competition of any sort, then branching out into others is fine too. But I would say if you ever plan on competing, to branch out into the Reserves first. That way you're covered. Look at what the other masters can provide in the strats and schemes section. And buy accordingly. I was telling Play Weird that I have the entire Reser faction minus the Transmortis crew. And now that they've got the Rotten Harvest box announced, which is Transmortis, I will have the entire Reser faction. I mean, the only reason I have Zoraida is because of the Rotten Harvest boxes. They are absolutely amazing. I love them. I'm debating doing them in the old black and white style, or like a black and white kind of super desaturated tone. So maybe they have flesh tones, but like really, really, really pale greens or really, really pale tans or whatever. Just so it's like you've cranked the desaturation down on them to where they're almost black and white. I think they make a very interesting look without. I know a ton of people are going to do black and white, so without being super derivative, doing a very desaturated look might be the key. But anyways, welcome to the hobby. Glad to see you joining in. You got McMorning, right? Okay. That is one I've just recently bought myself. I have done up a couple of his flesh golems or flesh constructs. Because they have the most of the aesthetics I like them, or explorers. Yeah, explorers, they have a lot of very cool aesthetics. A lot of flavors. Arcanists too. I agree. They're a solid choice if you're planning on sticking with one. And there's a reason people joke about being dirty arcanist. And then the second coat here on the face. And probably do one on the hands as well here in a second. Have all of one Arcanist Master, but she's the only master I've ever taken to an event and run 3 rounds with. That's Tony, right? That you've done that with. Just finished Teddy last week. Was my first Malfa model. Very nice. Very cool. Carver is a great model. I'm trying to think. He wasn't my first Malifaux model painted. He was like second or third. I did Teddy first, and I think I did Dreamer, and then I did Carver. So he was very early in it. Well, that's a bummer, Demon. Well, if you can't get local players, you could always try doing it online. There's a healthy vassal community. So collect the models for pretty sake, keep on your desk and paint and enjoy the hobby portion, and then play on vassal for the competitive side. Yeah. The horror was what kind of drew me into Nightmare. Chompy Bits in particular. That was what got me on Neverborn. Between him and Hinamatsu. I know she's not really horror, but I also have a thing for Asian themed, so she fit in right there with all those swords and then the kimonos and stuff. Love it. Very nice, Demon. All right, got the skinned base down. Yeah, punch. Yeah, I thought that was the one that you had. I mean, she seems like a really solid one. I actually would like to get her as well, but Arcanist is what I'm kind of light on. I think I'm going to go ahead and put him on the plinth because he's getting kind of becoming a pain to hold. That model out of the way there. Painting aesthetic was always my goal. Main goal. Pretty excited. Yes. Red Librarian story is beautiful. That's exactly it. Very excited for those. Let's do the Reichland flesh shade if I can find it. It's hiding from me. Where are you? There you are. Not much else in 10 Thunders really speaks to you. It's understood. Fair. Still not good with blending skin tones. They haven't got. So I haven't got many of the human models yet. Well, I mean, you don't have to be good with those things. And if that is your end goal to be better at them, then doing them is the only way to get better at them, right? So maybe you should grab a few more of the human style models. All righty. Getting that wash slapped in there. That dries up, we'll start working on the flesh a little bit more. Till then, we'll probably work on maybe the cloak. I'll try and get some of those pools off, especially on the top of the head. We don't need those there. Right. One of the most helpful things for me was get some practice with skin was doing 75 millimeter scale barbarian with a lot of exposed skin. Yeah. Doing large scale models definitely is a whole new ball game. I haven't done any other than the iconic Dreamer, and it was like a whole different thing. Like what worked with the smaller style didn't work on the larger style. It looked chunky and blocky, and so you definitely have to work on the smoothness of your transitions and such when you're dealing with larger scale models. Yep, 3D printers are good place to quickly outsource some painting fodder. Yeah, I seem to remember that one, Mama. That was a pretty cool model. Definitely in my my queue. Yeah, 4 bags of stuff so far. I bought them 2K resin for. Nice. Yeah, that's a good way to pay for your prints. Pay for that resin because that does get pricey after a while. It's not as bad once you've gotten your settings dialed in, but boy, until you're dialed in, it can get pricey. Like I had my exposure times and stuff set, but I was still having problems with things ripping off supports, especially on everything that was pre-supported. Pretty much was ripping off, and even those that I did supports myself, I was having problems with them, and it was extremely cold in my my garage where the printer was kept. So I ended up getting a vat band, and it keeps the resin at a toasty 30°C at all times. And as such, my models have not failed since, unless I screw up and don't put a support where I should. It's solid, works really well. Mm-hmm. Where's my ugly brush? The larger one, but not too large. I have lost a brush, folks. It's probably under the desk with the cat. Doing a little pale blue here on the sleeve. This is usually my oops, that's the jacket. Derpy-doo. I think it is. That's jacket. Let's see. No, that's sleeve. Okay, that's sleeve. All right. So I forgot a little skin. Yeah, his elbow. Oops. Oopsie doops. I forgot that. Come in here and that all with a little bit of water. It seems a little chunky. Can't wait for the Sun Wukong model. He was my favorite character. And it's for so long that there's a lot of nostalgia there. Okay. You'll have to remind me of that model. Which one is that? Is that the actual name? Or is it the name of the thing it was derived from? Because they do a lot of pop culture references. Story model, Orange Monkey. Okay. Yeah, that is a very cool model. Anxious to get my hands on that one too. I agree, Demon. I used to paint a lot of GW. I have probably 700 or more models to my name for GW. But I love Malifaux, and the fact that like even your minions, the ones that are like profiles, all look different. It's not like, a pack of 10 Space Marines where 5 of them are the exact same or whatever. I don't know how they've changed it now since, but yeah, that's the way it used to be. And just horrible. I like that variety. I have to wait for that to dry just a little bit more before we can get the flesh in. Go ahead and be basting the cloak. Could do that. While we're waiting, this is my kind of go-to color on red, as we do black red as a base. So a very nice, almost like, I guess what you'd call kind of a cinnamon. It's a little bit brown. Not so much, they should call it brown red instead of black red. But it's a good base. Thanks, Cat. Appreciate having your cat here in my model. Yeah, that repetitiveness gets to you, especially when you're painting 100 or more of the same models. So I've painted 500 rubric marines and 500 zangors. So I have had my fill of those. Not for me, but for clients. Yeah, I am currently working on a character model, which is all I will do from them now. Like I won't touch anything but one of their named characters or Primarchs. That's all I'll do. Um, I'm currently working on the Lion, the special edition Primarch that they brought out just recently. That sold out within like an hour. Oh, the character models would be fun to do, but once I get to the same guys, yeah, I gotcha. So it looks pretty splotchy right now. That's because we got a lot of water in it. So we'll fix that up here with another coat or two later once it dries. I will say it was a good exercise to do 25 guardsmen in a week for a commission. Let me know what I can still do. Yeah, yeah. I will say I have 100% slowed down a lot since I no longer do uh, big commissions like that. Like, um, just don't do it. Just and it's shown. I'm definitely a lot slower painting, but you know what? I don't care. I'd rather be a little slower and enjoy what I'm doing than be faster for the inane brainlessness of painting 100 guardsmen or whatever. I think his vest is red as well, isn't it, folks? Pretty sure it is. Just to make sure. Yeah, it looks red or semi purplish. So, yep. Here, get that elbow, which we did not get earlier because we thought it was cloth. I had to hit it with a wash as well. I actually did leave this guy in subcomponents. Not very much. Just his left arm is detached. So I could kind of get behind it and do the vest a little bit easier. So don't be surprised when I rip his arm off. Let's see here. Totally understand that. Over the last year, I've been doing some clone character models for GF since she's a Clone Wars fan. But told her recently needed to paint something else for a while. Every model is unique and a nice change of pace. Very true. Exactly. I agree. I mean, batch painting for me just, I don't know, it kind of kills my soul. I literally feel chunks of my soul leaving my body as I batch paint. Just hate it. Grabbing a little bit of black wash. Work on those. Throw that in those pants real quick. This is the Vallejo wash, so you have to make sure you don't have any moisture in your brush because it does not like moisture. It will very much frost wherever that moisture is. Just kind of throwing it on there all over, but mainly in the creases in between the legs. Makes it feel more like an obligation. Yeah, that's part of it for sure. That's part of it. Yep. We'll get that little bit on his elbow that we'd forgotten. I think it's dry now. Surprisingly, not a lot of recesses going on there for that to be an elbow. Okay. All right. So. I'm going to remove his arm for just a second. Well, probably more than just a second, but get it up out of the way. This little bit around the arm is going to be pretty much all the highlights that area gets. So it's going to be black and then the black red because it's way in shadow. Hey, Isabel, how are you doing? Good to see you. I am doing good, doing good. Bash Chill, hey there, welcome in. How are you doing? Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I figured, this guy was really, I had him primed black and he was really, really dark, and it's going to take a while for me to start getting base coats in. So I figured I'd have some of the other ones up on camera while I was painting. So, it'd be something pretty to look at, or at least something better than black. So that was my thinking. Glad I got a little bit of a response there. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that do that. They're painting a black model, and it's taking a while to get anything other than black on the model, and it's just like it's kind of boring to look at, right? So I just figured I'd help out, plop some color down there. This is probably hell on Weird Hobbies trying to keep the color balance there, but they're doing a good job. It's an issue you've had before, yeah. That's one of the reasons I don't do the all black primer very often. This guy I wanted to because he's got these really deep recesses in the cloak, and it's probably going to be real damn impossible next to get the brush up in there, at least while he's glued to the base. So I just figured I'd spray him black and leave those areas black. That way I don't have to worry about them. They are way recessed in the shadows, so it shouldn't be projecting a lot of color, right? So, but normally what I'll do is I'll do black and then do either have my flesh tone sprayed on, so I don't have to do 5,000 coats of that on camera, or I'll do a zenithal, have that gray sprayed over the black, so that at least the top surfaces have, so you have some volume. So it's not just a big blob of black sitting underneath the camera. Okay, let's get some of that. We are jumping around quite a lot today. I'm sorry about that, but it's just squirrel brain is engaged, folks. I can't help it. Okay, we're taking a little bit of London Gray mixed with some of the Eclipse Gray that we started with on his pants. We could probably have just gone straight back to the Eclipse Gray where the wash, where the first highlights were underneath the wash, but we're going to go a little bit lighter. Was working after school, but then got so tired I ended up on the sofa. My brain said, "Hey, you're tired. I'm tired. Maybe we should catch up on some Marvel stuff." So watch the second half of Doctor Strange. Pretty fun. Cool. It's it was an interesting one. I mean, I knew they were kind of leading. Well, maybe I shouldn't say this because it's kind of a spoiler. It's not really. I mean, it's pretty well documented, but they kind of were leading up to showing Wanda as sort of a villain, which just seemed weird. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes, especially now that he has opened the third eye. Barely watched anything since WandaVision. Yeah, I've still got to watch Black Panther, the second one, and I've still got to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That is like high priority, but I've not gotten to it yet. I want to see it, but at the same time, I really don't, because I love that crew and cast so much. I really don't want to see it be the end. You know, I know it's like the last time they'll be playing the Guardians, and it just kind of seems, I don't want to watch it because then it's over. You know. Now, was that the Spider-Verse one, the animated, or was that the actual live action one? The live action for Spider-Verse. Yeah, I need to see the sequel to it now. Actually, I take that back. I need to see the Quantumania. That's the other one I've got to see. Luckily, it's on Disney now, so I can watch it anytime. Just haven't gotten to it yet. Okay, now we're just going straight London Gray. This is going to be a big bump in contrast here, or should be. Cutting in these little lines here. The pants, legs, and then we'll okay. And we'll move over to light gray, neutral gray. Maybe a little bit of white mixed with it. Yeah. I think they've done really well with those. And they can show stuff with it that would have been much harder to pull off. Doing all the multiple Spider-Mans or whatever would have been much harder to pull off in a live action situation where you got 20 different actors or so playing the same character. You got to pay 20 actors wages. So Granted, you know, still have to pay voice actors, but you don't have to pay voice actors as much as live actors. So definitely one of those that fit animation better. Okay. All right, so we got some neutral gray mix and a bit of blue somewhere. I don't know how that got in there. Neutral gray mixed with a little bit of white, and then we're going to come in and do some, not with this brush though, with another brush, because this one splays too bad. I have finally ordered a new brush because my broken toes are just garbage. I don't know what happened to their quality control, but it definitely has gone downhill. So I'm going to be trying Artist Opus and seeing how those work. The nice thing is they are available in the US, so you don't have to do crazy stupid shipping from the UK where you feel like you have to order a dozen brushes to make it worthwhile, which is what I did last time, and then they were all garbage. Yep, just like that. Yeah, I was really upset. I thought I'd found the perfect brush, you know, with broken toad, and I extolled their virtues many times, and then when I got that last batch, they were just horrible. Like I've got here's I don't know six of them, 7 of them that are they're garbage. They're still in the package, but you can just look at them and tell they're garbage. You can see the excessively long guide hairs or the splayed ends. They're not what they used to be. And it's a sad day. It's okay. I mean, it's got a kind of a long guide hair as well, which means the paint tends to dry on it, so you get those little dry paint boogers at the tip. But I've so far made it semi work. Well, that is needs to be toned down there. Okay, get that going there. come back a little on the other side, get a few more wrinkles up here around the cuff, or get the cuff lined in. Okay. Tiny Clans, hello. How are you doing? Had a tiny little tournament this weekend. It was a lot of fun. Raised some money, a bit of money for cancer research. Fantastic. That's awesome. Okay. I think we can get another coat of our black red in here. Especially on these thinner spots here. Just got to make sure we don't get in on our gray we've been painting. Well, I gotta finish, that iconic dreamer that I did a while back. I have got to finish that guy up. Because I'm fairly certain Raven Art Studios is going to be doing a charity for SNAC very soon, the Scottish Network for Arthritic Children. I promised him I would do that iconic dreamer as like a the word, a set goal giveaway. So like if they hit a certain threshold of donations, then it will be given away. I don't know. They'll set the levels. But yeah, I got to finish that up so they'll have it ready for when they're ready to do their charity drive. Question: do you use sealer? If so, do you have a good one for ultra matte? Okay, I do sometimes. It depends. If I use metallics on a model, which is very rare, honestly. I do mostly non-metallic metal, but I did these guys for a quick paint job, so they have metallic on them. Typically, if I do these, I don't varnish because it dulls the metallic down. Otherwise, I do use. Is it on the desk? Yeah. I usually use this Vallejo 26518 for matte. However, I've noticed that as it ages, the matte capability of it becomes less and less. Like I've had this bottle for about 2 years now. And it's now like a satin claw varnish versus a matte varnish. So I have been told by some trusted sources that AK Interactive, their ultra matte is mad, like super duper 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 mad. So look for AK Interactive. It's a lot more expensive. You're going to pay about $14 versus like $6, right? Because you can only get it through like Amazon, and you get people that are essentially scalping there. But yeah, unless you're in the EU. If you're in the EU, you can probably get AK Interactive cheaper than you can get other paint. So, but that's the one I'd look into. I've got a bottle on my way as well. Once you varnish it and it like cures, I don't think it changes. Like it'll stay at whatever level it's at. Like if it goes down matte, it'll stay matte. At least what I've noticed. The ones I've varnished have not gotten more satiny. But as it's sitting in the bottle, the chemistry changes or it settles and changes. So, I mean, I shake it. I've got beads down in here, but there's probably just this point where you can't reincorporate it enough that it dries matte. So yeah, I'm just trying something different now. Varnish 10 years of models all at once. Well, I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess. If it's still nice and matte at that time, sure. I mean, it's very possible that can definitely be part of it. Wear and tear on it. I'm just saying, like the varnish as I spray it changes. Okay, when I sprayed that on the first model last year, that model was nice and matte. When I sprayed it on the next model a year later, it's now semi-gloss instead of matte. So it's not a matter of the varnish aging on the model. It's a matter of the varnish aging in the bottle. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. It changes over, its chemistry changes over time inside the bottle. But yeah, I mean, sure, UV exposure, contact with skin oils and stuff like that surely has an effect on varnish on your model as well. I was going to suggest, if you really want matte and you don't want to use varnish, I would actually go with Scale 75. Theirs is even matter than Procryl. This stuff is like ultra matte. So I mean, if you use nothing but that, then you don't even need a matte varnish unless you just want protection. It's just, you don't have to worry about shininess. And that's always a good thing. You can always test. Yep, for sure. Make some use out of all those space marines that look exactly alike. Just use them as test fodder. Slice Bread says, AK can attest to AK Interactive being matte? Yeah, like I said, I had it on pretty good authority from somebody that uses a lot of enamels and varnishes, or enamels and oils, which are typically shiny. And they swear by the AK, so that's where I'm getting that from. So if it can matte down all those enamels and oils and washes and stuff, I figure it'd be pretty good on this stuff too. All right, let's get some. Let's work on the skin a wee bit. Mm-hmm. Well, you missed it the other day, Llama. I was painting with your the glitter brushes you gave me. Yep. That's why I asked if your ears were burning, because I kept calling your name, trying to summon you while using the glitter brushes. You were probably asleep. Might have been. Might have been. Let's see here. A little bit of our flash. Yeah. That was long before my time. Long before my time. Or, well, not before my time, but before I started painting, anyways. You think you started young as 95-ish? Yeah, yeah. See, I started painting in 2013. Glitter greater than an animal for sure. You're sitting there painting Space Marines. Well, you do a good bit of GW work, at least, or Space Marines, GW, whatever we want to call it. You do a good bit of that. I've seen in your Instagram. You do a good smattering of both. Where I've gone to almost exclusively weird miniatures, you still balance them. Not enough energy to start with next illustration. Painting minis feels more like routine. Yeah, that you can do while tired. That makes sense. Absolutely. So, anybody that knows lore on this guy, he's got his scalp like cut, like opened up so that he could read the bone, his skull, right? Because is that what this line is? That's across his forehead. Seems like I remember that was what they were talking about. How he overcame the thrall spell or whatever to become himself again. So he'd hidden some sort of runes underneath the skin of his skull, or underneath the skin on his skull. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So we're gonna paint that as a cut there, or a scar. Was it 117? The breach side that was about his background seemed like it was low 100s, but I was thinking 117. I need to go back and listen to it. I meant to do it today, but I kind of got sidetracked, and I didn't get the chance. It's called Puzzle Box. Find it in the magazines. Oh, it's in the magazines? Oh, okay. It looks like it's Tales of Malifaux 28. I thought it was in the hundreds. How about that? Okay. All right. I will check that out as soon as we're done with streaming. I got well, it was 17. I was thinking for some reason 117. I don't know why, but that was what I had in my head, and it was obviously wrong. The 7 was right. I got that part right. Thank you for being generous enough to tell me that I got the 27 part right. All right, getting those cheeks cut in there. Really need some more water on my palette. Despite being a wet palette, it needs water incessantly, it seems like. Okay. Come in with just a little bit of the flat flash here, catching like the dome of his skull. I might catch the most light. All right. I'll come in here and get a little bit on this elbow here. His knuckles. one more hand there. One more set of knuckles. And we may hit a little bit more on the skull flesh, like maybe just a little dab of highlight around that scar. But for right now, we're just going to let it ride, just see where it looks, how we feel about it in a few minutes. All right. While we're doing that, we're going to work on the cloak. That's the word. He doesn't need to be hitting the skull anymore. Yeah, he probably doesn't need to be hit there anymore, but I'm gonna hit him there some. Okay. So we're mixing a little bit of that black red with some Mephiston. Might just add just a smidge more. If I can get it out of the bottle. Not cooperating. There we go. I probably should have done just a little bit better job filling here. I tried to let the glue fill that seam and I didn't. It's not enough. But oh well. This is not going to be a display mini or anything. I mean, it did a pretty good job because that was a monster scene. So the glue did a decent job. It just didn't get it all. Yeah, I wish I could be a display mini sometimes. Can people look at me and admire me? Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Ooh and ah a little bit. What do you think, my beautiful display mini? Yeah, exactly. Then somebody ask if you washed it. Oh God. Nah. What I hear is, did you airbrush that? Oh, dude, that's just rude. when I'm taking my time and really working on a mini, I get that a lot. Did you airbrush this? No, it's 100% brush work. I don't believe you. Okay, come to my Twitch. I will show you my blending on stream live. And this is that, not that, of course, just saying. But I can paint a very nice blend without an airbrush. Oh my God, really? That's just brutal. That's just like, that's super duper insulting. Especially if, after you've already won. Like, really? Okay, I won this award. Do you think I won it by dipping them? Jeez, my ninny. I think what the problem is, I think most people that ask that sort of thing don't know the terminology or the techniques. They just pull off something that they've heard or seen as the only technique available. So I think a lot of it is I hate to say ignorance, but ignorance of the abilities out there, the techniques out there. It's just like the first thing they can latch onto is, oh, hey, washes, or hey, airbrush. Now, I'm not going to say it can't be done. I'm not, because I have seen some beautiful miniatures done with contrast paints, and some that people that use washes as an early step in their painting. It can be done. I'm just saying it's really rude to just assume that's how it was done. Oh yeah, with slap chop, and yeah, you can get some great results with slap chop too. But it's it's one of those things. Like Juan Hidalgo does amazing work with contrast paints. Contrast paints are something I have just never really invested the time into. So I could never get the results he does. Even if I wanted to, I mean, and invested the time, I probably couldn't, just because he's a freaking amazing artist. But he does do some beautiful work with them, and kind of changes people's view on them. Like, as somebody said, yeah, you can do beautiful stuff with contrast paint. No. And then here comes Juan Hidalgo. Oh, this was done with contrast? Wow. Okay, my mind's changed. Mix a little bit of black into that. I hear you. I mean, like I said, I've seen some really pretty results with it, and I've seen some very not pretty results with it. So it definitely depends on the person behind the brush, right? Just working these, or working down these shadows a little bit here. I was going to say working up. We're actually working them down, deepening them a little bit. Are you, Sibel, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Juan Hidalgo? Yeah. He does do a lot of pre-brush work before, ever applying the contrast or applying the doing the slap top method or whatever he's doing. He's doing a lot of brush work prior to. Yeah. Hey, Dragon. Welcome in. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you. All right. Trying to get a nice looking look on that robe there. Just like having more control with specific shades and blends and contrasts don't really give me that same freedom. Yeah. Makes sense. Now, when the one I saw that was so pretty, I think was actually they had done they had airbrushed contrast as like an overall filter, as well as doing pooling method, and I mean they used it in all sorts of different ways, other than the quote intended way of just slapping it on really thick, right? Obviously, you don't do that on a display model, right? But it gave some really, like I said, some really pretty effects, especially on like ghostly ethereal parts of the model. Just got off work, about to go get ready to go to Meeples to do some Warhammer. Okay, cool. Well, I wish I could meet you down there, man. But I guess it won't happen this week. Hey, if you come up next Wednesday, I might could, because next Wednesday I'm actually doing stream on Tuesday, or next week I'm actually doing, or not next Wednesday. Next week I don't have stream. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I do. I'm sorry. I'm so freaking confused because of the way the days have gone. Next week I do stream, but I stream on Tuesday rather than on Wednesday. So if you come up on Wednesday, maybe we can meet up. that's that's where I'm trying to brain problems. Do you think there is a space in mini painting for painting thick highlights? I mean, it works in oil, which obviously isn't the same thing. I mean, Sybil, for that, I mean, yeah, if you're doing like a really sorry, my eyes are watering bad today. Got some allergies going. If you're doing like a really pretty display piece, obviously no chunky highlights, right? But when you're talking about tabletop, the definition of tabletop is meant to be seen as the miniature appears pretty from the tabletop, about 3 feet away. So chunky highlights in that case actually will work out a whole lot better than really fine highlights. Okay. So I'm doing like this hairline highlight, right? If I do that and I don't have multiple other highlights coming up to that point, you're not going to see that from 3 feet away. You're going to see that main color and that's it. But if you do a chunky highlight, you'll see that and your brain's going to like blend it in its little brain space up here. It's going to say, oh, that's a blended highlight. That's pretty because it's 3 feet away. Yeah, my squirrels are leaking again. Well, it was a question. I had to stop and explain it. But yeah, chunky highlights will work fine from tabletop distances. Not so much up close. Yeah, the squirrels are bad today, man. They really are. I apologize to anybody that's bothered by my scatterbrainness, but yeah, the squirrels are loose today. You know what it is? I had no coffee today. The coffee helps my squirrels, and I haven't had any. It calms the squirrels down. It is a pretty. She's familiar with it. She's been there. But yeah, it's a good little shop, and Dave and Priya are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. It's looking pretty good. We've only got basically two colors here. We got that black red, and we got the Mephiston red, or Mephiston with the little black red mixed in. So doing pretty good. Digging it. Yeah, they are cool people. And I like that they get involved. Like the employees typically get involved. Like if they see you looking around, they'll come over and make suggestions. And um, if you're looking for a new game and they've got a game they're passionate about, like Infinity or Malifaux or whatever, they'll offer to throw down a demo game with you. They're really nice. Um, Not saying that they might not do that at Gigabytes, but Gigabytes is just so big. Like I've never seen one of their employees just wandering around there. So I feel like you get a more personalized experience at Meeples, right? Oh, Augusta, that's my old stomping grounds. That's where I used to live. Well, basically my hometown. I lived in Atlanta for the first 6 years of my life, and then moved to Augusta and lived there till I was 18. Yeah, I'm sure they're positive, but it's just like I don't ever see them because they're so busy, and it's such a busy place. So yeah, but it's very loud, which for somebody with sensitive hearing is incredibly tough. I agree, Sliced. I agree. I mean, seeing as how this is the hometown, the birthplace of Malifaux, we need more people out there playing it in the Georgia area. If I didn't live so far from all the hobby stores, I would be down there like every day playing, or every day set up with demos to bring people into it. But I live so damn far away, and gas is so ridiculous right now. I can't. Yeah, mostly 40K, unfortunately. The stuff I care nothing about. Oh, really? Wow. Okay. As somebody that works 7 days a week, most weeks, it's really hard for me to do that. Hey, Virik. Pretty much, Virik. Pretty much. Yeah. It's it's the NPE table. Probably need to get this colored in before we go too much further, huh? Wow, 6 VP against Damien. That's pretty good. He scored 7. Hey, a 6-7 is pretty damn close. That's almost a win versus Damien. That's not, I would almost consider that a win. Rather fight that than to burn me out of the existence crew. Sonia Riva Karis. I see. Yeah. Okay. We got to get in a little bit better. We have a piece of hair. Oops. Got to get rid of that old piece of hair. There we go. These little micro tweezers have been a godsend. So I've heard. Yeah. I initially set this up as or painted up the Damien 2 title kit set because, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a pretty crap player. So I figured I needed kind of any advantage I could get, right? So I did up the Damien 2 crew. And I only painted what I thought I would use, at least for my first list, which is right here, what you see in front of Lolith, the 3 Soulstone, Bella, Marco, and the puzzle and title, Damien. That was all I was going to use. So that was all I painted up for him. But we're going to come back in and finish up the vanilla Damien and the dabblers, because that's all that's really left to do now. Marco's annoying. Yeah. New Herald is pretty irritating to go against. Yeah, I've heard he's pretty rough too. I got to get that box. Not because he's hard to play, but he has a cat on his shoulder, so I need that model. I need that model for that reason alone. Although I think it's actually sculpted on the base or the around his feet, isn't it? On the model, the artwork showed it on his shoulder, but I think it's actually at his feet. So we're just getting a little bit of detail down here on the face, or trying to. Let's see here. Marco's so annoying. New Herald's pretty irritating. Played Titania 2 into Damien 1 and targeted Marco straight away as he messes up hand control so bad. He survived on 1 wound, and I had to throw away 3 severes. Wow. Dang, Virit. So I played Herald last tournament. Stuff melted a bit. Tull is mean. My main struggle was pretty much each model can utilize any card to get an extra action. Oh, wow. Action economy, huh? And Watson's just bonkers. Yeah, the cat is secretly the master hero. Is just helping the little guy fulfill his war fantasies. Oh my God, thank you, Slice. That's now headcanon. That is 100% headcanon now. Okay, it is on his shoulder. All right. For some reason, I thought they'd put it on his base. Or like by his foot. Okay. Ooh, wow. 4 AP and was able to beat Caster 2 into a pulp. Oh, it's on his. Okay. That's what had me thinking it was around his feet. Okay, so I was seeing the title version. Okay. Okay. I feel better now. Title version is more fair. All right. All right. We got that white around his neck, almost fully painted. Really, really a pain to get to right there. Just joined the game and it's already causing catastrophic damage. Nice. Good wordplay. Good wordplay. Okay, so we're going to use a little bit of Dark Reaper. And we're going to kind of thin it down, and this will become a wash for those areas of white. It's not white; it's pale blue. But yeah. Keeping it weird. Yes, yes. Always keeping it weird, man. It is Weird Wednesday after all. A bit of garbage right there, wasn't it? I don't know how that got gray. That was weird. Went from a Dark Reaper almost to like a gray color. Very strange. We'll work with it because white isn't white. We always start with a pale blue and work up from there usually. What we need to do is feed your coffee brain squirrels glitter. Oh, I don't know how helpful that would be. Then we'd have, the squirrel brain with glitter going everywhere. I don't think that would be good. You said anything about helping? Okay. You're looking for comical effect. I get it now. Entertaining. I see. Oh, llama. Trying to mess me up. Good seeing me in action. Need to drop. All right, Vic. It's probably getting late there for you. Have a great night. Thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Good to see another weird painter in here. Of course, we got a Sybil as well. Appreciate you dropping in as well. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road. Sorry. Where are the alpacas? Hey, were the alpacas a bad influence on the llamas or the other way? I don't know. I don't know on that one. Mama might know about that. Yeah, man. I'm hoping you get on the weird train again, or get on the weird train soon as well, man. We need to get a game in. Either Crow or you one, or both, whichever. All right, so got our reds basically done. Let's brighten up that, or tighten up that tie a little bit here. Now that the wash is dry. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, he told me some of the bad influence of alpacas or something. Triple threat death match. Yeah, for that we need Llama's map. Llama has a map drawn out with multiple deployment zones for 3 to 6 players, I think. Yeah, I knew who you were. I was just using your screen name in case that's what you want to. Let's see here. What I've decided over the years is probably dependent on the trainers. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, was it? It was for 3 or 4 then. I can't remember. You have that little map with the kind of hexagon shape to set up the different deployment zones for multiple players. But we not had the played on it yet. But I remember you showing it to me. Again, it could just be his disposition toward them. Like if he thinks they're going to be mean, well, they're probably going to be mean. Kind of like horses. People that are afraid of horses make for bad mannered horses. Not to say they can't be, because mine obviously have some issues. I mean, the number of times I've been kicked and headbutted and stuff is record breaking. Um, but yeah, if I were to dislike them, it'd probably be a whole lot worse. They the problem with them is they've just been allowed to do whatever the hell they want to for so long. Getting them to behave is tough. It's hex shape. That's right. Okay, so you can run 6. All right. I was thinking you could. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was a pretty experienced ranger. Ah, okay. Well, could be. Could be. All right. Just doing a little touch up here in these collars. Okay. I'll work on the sleeves a bit. I wish I'd thought to do the bandages. I normally do them I would have normally done them with the same workup as the sleeve, but we kind of forgot to. So we'll do them a different way, or do them the same way, but after the sleeve is done, since we'd have to wait for washes to dry again and everything. So, oh well. All right, get that on there. And what can we work on here? Oh, that is a bit of belt there, isn't it? Yes, we're painting a brown belt with red and black. Not cool. Do a little bit of highlight on that tie. There we go. All right, let's work on the red for a little bit. This is just Mephiston we're bringing in here now. It looks super duper bright. It will tone down a wee bit. I got a little wonky on that one. May have to touch that one up. Try to come down too far. That was a problem. go. That'll be fixed up here in a second. As soon as that dries, I think we'll get it. All right. Gotta add some water to this palette. It is like bone dry. Silly wet palette. Come in here and edge this wee bit right here. Got a nice sharp fold there, so we had to hit it harder. That red's starting to pop now. Oops, we're cut off the camera. Let's bring it back a wee bit. Thank you, Sybil. I appreciate that. So that black red is really, really a good base. It's what I recommend for all the reds that I do. And then, just mixing it with a little bit of Mephiston and working from there. Now, if you get into where you're blending a lot, of course, glazing is your friend, but we're doing mostly layering today. But yeah, it makes a really nice red, I think. I'm painting pretty thin here, so it's kind of like a glaze. Building that red up a little bit. right, just cutting in a little bit here. We'll have to darken or brighten that shadow back up, bring that shadow back up a little bit. Kind of covered some of it with the brighter red. Go. All right. We still need to work on all this over here, but we kind of got this one arm done or not done, but worked up pretty well, and the vest is pretty well worked up. Pardon me. Working on his collar a little bit here. Pull back just a wee bit, hit one of the other previous mixtures here for this bit. We'll intensify it up here on the shoulders a little bit as well. Okay. Do need to get in between here. It's a little boo-boo there. Not so much on mine, but the way the line crosses that robe. Okay. Just come back in and rebuilding that little recess shadow a little bit. It kind of got lost. Oops. All right. Yeah, 219. Okay, 50 more minutes. I don't think we're going to finish him up because we still got all the we got his shoes, we got his weapon left to do. When I was putting in for a schedule, I don't remember if I said 1 stream or 2 streams on him. We could potentially ask for a second stream and finish him up if we don't today, which is looking like a very big possibility. So if you'd like for me to finish him up on stream, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just we'll assume to finish him off stream. Depends. Are you painting him up a chessboard? It had not occurred to me. That actually would not be a bad basing theme for him. I was thinking of doing like some runes type thing, but a chessboard could work. I think Greg Rizzer did that, didn't he? I think he did a mini chessboard for him. Oops, I went too far. No. Okay. Okay, just kind of brightening this red up here. This is specific arc, and we are pretty well using glazes at this point. It's just real thin. Okay. We'll do the same thing right here. I don't know, but it's possible. Shipping overseas is just stupid right now. Weird Hobby, are you here? Can you answer that? I mean, if it is, it's probably a very minor delay because, like, most of the time they have a delay, they make notice of it. If it's just like a week or two, it's not normally a big newsworthy thing. And this month, it may not even have been the overseas portion. It may have been on us because it's Memorial Day weekend, the end of this month. So that could have thrown off the distribution on our end, on the U.S. end. It's not delayed? Okay. That's just a little brighter than I want. It's like a little streak here, and I want to tone that down. Wait a little bit. Yeah. I always thought it was like the week before the end of the month. So, but with this month being end of the month being a holiday, probably is what threw things. Okay. That's still not as light as I want it to be, or toned down as I want it to be. I want to get the next lower color and tone it down some. Ooh, that was base contact there through my brush stroke. Okay. Getting there on that. I think we're just going to come in and pull some edge highlights on the red, and that'll be done. Just went ahead and ordered the Damien core box. I'll get the other part at some point. Nice. Very cool. Like to see that. All right. Let's see here. We need Evil Sun Scarlet. I don't think we'll go with Wild Rider. It gets a little too orange. So I don't think we'll use it. But we'll definitely use this Evil Suns. Hey, Stonewall, how are you doing? Yep. Always a weirdo. Once a weirdo, always a weirdo. How are you doing? Good to see you. Been a while. Been a very long while. I am hanging in there as well, my friend. It has been a busy, crazy year. The next few months are going to be even crazier. I've got 2 upcoming surgeries coming on. One a hernia repair, and the other I'm going to actually get my wrist fixed finally. So that is going to be nice, but at the same time, I'm kind of scared to death. I hope I'm still able to paint when I'm done with it. You see me in the odd place in Discord when you lurk. Cool. Well, I'm glad you still lurk around occasionally. And that we run in similar circles. Similar circles, the word. There, that's what I was looking for. Tend to drop them on occasionally. Well, that's cool. I appreciate it. My nose. Stupid allergies. I have Kleenex, but they're on the other side of the table. I can't get to them. Someone use the force for me and get them. Oh, that's understandable. Yeah, you gotta have the jobby job for the money for the hobbies. So you've got something now, I'm guessing. A huge backlog of weird stuff. Nice. All right, I'll be right back. And don't bother going on AFK. I'm just gonna grab a Kleenex. Sorry about that. We're back. Oh, still hunting? Okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck, sir. Better. Much better. Okay, now we're going to come back in with the regular red, the Mephiston, and do the edge highlighting in between because we don't want the bright all the way down. Right? All right. Well, I don't know what kind of work you're looking for, but I know I see a lot of ads for people need work. I mean, most of it's like retail and stuff like that, which probably nothing you're interested in, but seems it's definitely a worker's market again. Or at least has been for a while. I don't know if it's shifted back, but it was for a while. It was a worker's market. If you're young and want a manual, yeah, that's the kicker there. Whole manual labor thing. Why do you guys think I'm so beat up all the time? You guessed it, manual labor. Which is funny because I still have the hands of a princess. I wear gloves. Old and experienced, that's working against you. Yeah. Strange how that works. When you're young, they want, when you're like in your 20s, they want 22 years experience. And once you got that 20 years experience, they don't want you no more. Trying to tighten this little line up a little bit. It's gotten a little wonky. Yeah, nothing wrong with being a little wonky. Oh, I know there's nothing wrong with me being wonky, but that line being wonky, there's something wrong with that. I am always going to be 100% wonky. If I'm not wonky, I've been replaced with a body snatcher. Just saying. Yeah, sounds like it. You just experienced yourself right out of a job. Well, could be time for a career shift. Do something different. Resurrection. Yeah. Time travel. That's what you need to work on. Couldn't hit that thing to save my soul. I mean, I went all the way around it, but did not catch that damn edge. Cool, you broke by the time that comes around. I see. See if we can get it this way. There we go. Not quite go so bright on that one. It is very dark in the shadow. Okay, there we go. Red's looking pretty good. Add a wee bit up here on the collars. Oops. Dadgum that sword right in my damn way when I don't want it there. Let's put it back down this way. Maybe we can get it the way we want it now. There we go. At least we got that one now. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. We're a boo-booed. We're not the Bob Ross show. There are mistakes. They're not all happy accidents. All right. Well, goggles, sword, wraps, bag, and shoes. I don't know if that's enough for like another stream, so we'll get done what we can today, and that's probably all we'll do. Pardon me. Cut in his little fanny pack here. Yes, I called it a fanny pack. Get over it, Damien. It is what it is. Just because you wear it on the side doesn't mean it's not a fanny pack. I mean, sometimes we want to carry more than what fits in our pocket. And, fanny packs are a good way to do it. I am not complaining. Oh, I haven't got a fanny pack, but I've got a shoulder sling. It actually kind of comes in like in a triangle shape, kind of like that. It's like wider at the bottom, and it has a slot for a cell phone back, when cell phones were like that big. So it doesn't hold my cell phone anymore, but it was an old Singular bag. If you remember Singular Wireless, it's like when you signed up for new service, you got that bag. And it was a great bag because it was cross chest for one. So it went across your chest, which meant one, easier to hold, didn't have to worry about it slipping off. But also you didn't have to worry about somebody snatching it easier either. Because if it just goes over one shoulder, somebody can snatch that thing off really easy. This would have had to come over my head. So it was better in that respect too, a little more secure. And like I said, it didn't look like a fanny pack, which was nice. But I've kind of lost track with it. I don't know where it is now. I need to try and dig it back out. Let me see if I can replace the elastic on it so it'll hold an actual modern phone instead of the little bitty things that were out back in the early 2000s when I got that thing. Actually, it may have been like 99, 97, somewhere around there. Singular's been gone a long time. I actually probably should paint a little bit of red down in this recess here because well, it's kind of flapped out. It should have some paint there. Let's get a little bit in there. For the faction upgrade cards, where would I go to purchase those for in-person play? Your best bet is to, I think, get the Arcanist starter box. I believe those have your upgrade cards in there. And if not, then your next stop is exactly Wargame Vault has them. You have a 10 card minimum. But you can almost always find somebody that will want to purchase cards with you. So if you can't quite get 10, then check with somebody else. Yeah, you will spend some money on ink though if you do them at home. Unless you got like something super efficient, but most of the home printers are crap. Or non-laser printers are crap. I did recently get the one of those reservoir style printers, the ones that you just have like a big ass 200 milliliter bottle of ink in them. So we'll see if those end up being more efficient for printing cards or if it's just better to go to Wargame Vault. Use up the printers you're finishing. There you go. There you go. Oh, that's true for upgrades. Yeah, you don't have to do the double-sided thing. So that's a savings for sure. Wasn't even thinking about that. But come on, you want to buy the Arcanist starter box because their models are cool. Yeah, actually, I think you can get 4 on a sheet. I mean, if you're doing single side, you can do 4 cards. I think if you're doing double side, you can only do 2. Been a while since I've printed any, though. The last time I did a major print job, they were auto rotted like the very next week. So that was a big old waste of time and ink. All right, no, not that. Oh, we got the strap on his thigh too. Forgot about that. Oh, really? Are you printing? Doing edge to edge printing or? Oh, okay. I guess I always do mine like on a document 7.5 by 10. I have 1/2 inch wide margin, so that's why I only do 2. Okay, so that's done there. I'm thinking the pants are a little too sketchy now that I looked at the cloak with these glasses on. So we'll probably touch those up too. But I think well, the next stream we'll just move on to the dabblers. What paint color am I painting the fish for the dabbler? Definitely going to do probably goldfish. Gold, orangey colors. They'll work good with the blues for the water. Mixing in a little bit of that dark Reaper blue with the pale blue. A little blending here, or set it up for some blending, because right now it's very chunky. I think we're going to come in and manually paint that, because that I don't know what happened when I was putting the dark Reaper down, but it like turned super duper gray, like dark gray, and turned my normally nice soft white into a weird color. So we're gonna probably gonna just redo those little bits, I think. Oh my goodness. It's getting that time, isn't it? We got 12 more minutes. Well, folks, if you see that little Willow link down there, that is a link to my social medias, everything all in one place. So if you would follow that, like, subscribe, smash buttons, all that, is 100% free. Would appreciate it. Makes things better for me. Makes it easier for people to find me and such, and it doesn't cost you anything, so we certainly appreciate it. And of course, if you're not already following Play Weird, well, what are you doing? Hit that follow button. Appreciate it, Sliced Bread. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't know if I'll be streaming tonight, but I probably will be on tomorrow at some point. I'll be back working on the Lion, most likely, because that's the one I got commissioned. That's kind of a rush job. Well, rushed and it as it needs to be get done and out of here. Not that it's really on a time schedule, but I just want it done so I can get paid. But I do appreciate it, sliced bread. I do. All right, so we're just continuing to work this white up a little bit. I said it's not really white; it's like pale blue, and which is a very very light gray blue, and then it's a dark reaper as well, which is kind of a very blue dark gray. I only do white like on the most extreme of the highlights, just because one, well, white's chunky and gross most of the time, but also white doesn't really photo well in any sort of quantity, so it tends to wash right out. So you could have 10,000 highlights in here, but if they're all based in white, it's not going to show up. So I started doing this kind of bluey gray look, and with just white on the edges and the tips and stuff, and it works pretty well. Still have to watch your exposures and color balance and stuff, but not near as bad as otherwise. Trying to remember where I first started this. Seems like I started this on the old Hoffman title was when I started using this recipe. It could be. Sorry, allergies again. Man, they're wrecking me today. What's blooming? Too early for ragweed, but that's what my nose is telling me it is. Mm. All right. So about where I want it. Are you kidding me? I mean, it is cooler than normal, but it's 70 plus each day. I think you'll be happy because I have a feeling this summer, once we're in summer proper, is going to be scorching. So you'll probably be very happy. My poor air conditioning is going to get a workout this year, I think. Okay, there's that. Get a little bit of white down. Looking pretty good, I think. Like I said, we need to do his sword, the shoes, that bag, and those the goggles and wrist wrap. So basically, just details. I would have liked to finish them up, but oh well. All right, Slice Bread. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hope to see you again soon. We'll be back next next Tuesday at the same time. And then we're just putting on our little spot highlights of white here. I mean, they're a little bigger than spots, but that one got loopy everywhere. Okay, let's see here. So I got that done. Let's get a black wash on those on the bags on those little fanny packs. And then that's probably going to be the last thing we do, which is good because a big sneeze is coming. Won't be able to hold it up much longer. Okay, so let's get this wash down. Make sure my brush is good and dry. Smash that in there a little bit in the places it's not going easily. It's okay if it goes on the pants because we're probably going to make some corrections to the pants anyways before we're done. All right. So that concludes our Damien workout for today. We didn't quite finish him, but it's mostly detail work at this point. Bring her down just a wee bit. So. Now we need focus. I was trying to give a little close up on it, what it looked like, but yeah. So we gotta do his bag and the sword and touch up the pants, the bandages, and his glasses. Otherwise, looking pretty smooth. We're gonna do the sword in non-metallic metal versus metallic, even though we did this dude's in metal. We'll do this one in non-metallic metal. And when we redo this guy, because we're going to be doing him again soon, I think, we'll do it in non-metallic metal as well. But anyways, my name is Haunted. My Willow link is down there. If you care to follow, that would be great. If not, it's cool. We will see you guys next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be taking Eleanor's place for the day, and she will take my place that Wednesday at her usual time, which I think is 11 a.m. Eastern. But anyways, regardless, we will have some painters for you. So till then, take care, be safe, stay weird.